All right, all right, all right. Buffs Nation, what is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful MLK day. Hopefully, a lot of y'all have today off. If you're still kind of working a little bit today, like I am, hey, hope your work day is off to a pretty decent start. Your work week off to a decent start. Today, gonna come in and finish up my Taurean Carter film room. We're looking at part 2 today, so we're going to be taking a look at his game against Ole Miss in 2021. Again, to give you a little bit of a recap on Taurean Carter, missed 2022 with a torn ACL. 2023, new defensive coordinator that kind of moved him outside, I think, to more of a 3 technique and being responsible for that B gap. But in 2021, played more so of that nose tackle position, going up against the center, responsible for keeping more of that A gap part of the alignment, and graded out better there. So does that have to do with where he was lining up? Does that have to do more with coaching scheme? Does that have to do more with before, post ACL injury? We'll just have to see. But we're going to go ahead and dive in here. I think you'll be really impressed with some of the clips that I have today of him going against Ole Miss, all that. Before I get started, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Yes, looks like I need to do a video on Herman Smith at some point today. Virtual Authority, good to see you. What's up, K Vizzy? Good to see you as always. Old school in here. And K Vizzy coming in and saying, hey, Herman's better than Cameron Silman Craig, if I can talk correctly. I'll have to look into that. But hey, let's go ahead and get into this film room. Again, guys, I'm going to be sharing my screen, walking you guys through some different plays, and I'll get to your comments after that. So, but I wanted to open up this film room with my favorite play that we had from Taurean Carter. And then we'll go back and kind of go through the whole order. Okay. Let's see here. All right, we good? Okay, guys. Just a reminder, in 2021, Taurean Carter was number 91. Right there, that nose tackle position going up against the center. This is a 3rd and 1. Okay, guys. This is the type of athlete that we're bringing here. I really love this play. And then we'll get into the other plays. Like I said, if my notes app will stay open, that is the key. So, hey, right here, let's watch this. 3rd and 1. Watch the explosion. Oh man, this is great. This stops a drive right here. Everybody's pumped up. Let's get another view of that again. Taurean Carter right here, playing at that 0 technique. Swims through that double team and just blows up this play. Love to see it. I love to see him kind of getting back to his feet. Fantastic play here by Taurean Carter. Everybody's pumped up. You got to love it. I mean, let's just watch that play one more time again. Got a 3rd and 1, 34. And blows up this play right from the middle. Good job. The rest of the defense, everybody coming there in the backfield and make that play. That was a team stop. Everybody's pumped up about that. But this type of penetration through the line, we didn't really see much of that this past year. So, Taurean Carter, we're happy you're here, man. All right. Let's go ahead and just run through this whole game. Again, Taurean Carter, he wasn't a starter at Arkansas. Might he have been if he didn't have that ACL injury? He definitely could have been, but definitely a substantial rotational player for the Arkansas Razorbacks over the past few seasons. So you saw him get in on a handful of different plays. Again, playing at that nose tackle position is where you'll see him line up. Here's a play here in run defense. This This is an outside play, so it kind of runs away from where he was at. Um, Graded out a little bit better overall in the game against Mississippi State. You can see kind of facing a little bit of a double team there, but still had some nice plays against the Rebels. All right, we should see a little pass rush here from him. Again, not much not much really to see other than Matt Corral making a big time touchdown pass, but you like to see him continuing to work to the outside after he's kind of runs into a wall of offensive linemen, but nothing really you can do there. Ole Miss pass protected very well on that play, and Matt Corral making a big time touchdown pass. Let's go to 24-10. So the next time we see him in. All right, this should be another run play. Getting right there, the nose tackle. Eating a bit of space, but you see the offensive line gets a good push. Nice little gain there of 4. You can see again, eating a double team right there, holding his ground the best he can. The offensive line does a good job of opening up this hole to the running back's right. Nice little gain of 4. Second and 6. I think this is another run play here too. Again, holding his ground. Not much there. Gain of, another, well, I guess it was a gain of 5 or so. You can see holding his ground. Linebackers come in and clean up the play. Again, that's why you'll never see nose tackles or interior linemen put up a bunch of stats. And again, getting to this play right here, this is my favorite play when I was going through this whole game watching Taurean. Again, 3rd and 1. Rebels try to run it here. Taurean Carter blows up this play for probably a loss of 2. Bringing up 4th down and 3. They got a punt. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, 29-04. Let's get to it. Some more pass plays. Nice little dump off there. Good open field tackling from Arkansas. And he gets the ball out pretty quickly. You can see Ole Miss kind of has a double team devoted to him for a lot of these pass plays. Here we'll get another pass rush. Again, facing a double team, and Matt Corral has a really nice scramble here for a first down. Yeah, just a 3-man rush. They drop 8 back, and Matt Corral takes what the defense is giving him and makes a nice run out of it. All right, 31-09 is where we're going to go to next, or 30-40, my bad. Let's see what we got here. Got some more run defense. Again, Taurean Carter right there. Held on that play. I don't think they throw the flag there. We like to see him continue to work, run to where the play's going. All right, we got a 2nd and 10. Or second something. 2nd and 9. Here he is again, eating up that space. Running back has to pop that thing outside. Nothing. Eating space, holding his ground. No hold develops. Arkansas makes a really nice stop there. All right. And then we got 31, 5. Okay. I think this should be a pass rusher. 4th and 4. Okay. My bad. This should be a pass rush. Again, like I was saying in part 1 of my film review, I think you could see Taurean Carter be replacing Chidozie Nwankwo at that nose tackle position in passing situations. Again, you can see Mississippi State, they weren't doing a lot of double teams with him in the pass rush, and he was collapsing the pocket, creating a little bit more havoc for them. You can see Ole Miss with how they have their offensive linemen blocking throughout this game. They're usually devoting 2 guys to him on a lot of these plays. All right. This should be another run play here coming up. They're changing the play here really quickly for the snap. Come on now. I like to see his fight here, throwing guys to the side, trying to get up in there. But it's a little too late for that Razorbacks defense. Whoever that running back was, he had a nice burst through that hole. You'd see that Taurean Carter is right behind this field goal post. Is this the guy that's on the Jaguars now? I'm trying to remember. But yeah, nice. You got that lead blocker. Ole Miss does a really good job of creating a very wide hole for this running back to run through. And Ole Miss has had a fantastic offense since Lane Kiffin's gotten there. Let's see what else we got here. 33-53 or 33-20. I guess we could use on this play too. Another run play. Again, it kind of goes opposite direction. Bounce that thing outside. $51 has a real good block on him. All right, I think we just got 2 more plays left. We have a couple pass rushes from here. Again, kind of facing a double team, taken out of the play pretty quickly. I guess this was more of a read option. Yeah. My bad. Matt Corral was a real good player at Ole Miss. I'm kind of bummed that we haven't been able to see much of him in the NFL, but it is what it is. All right. Yeah, this should be the last play here. Pass rush. Again, Taurean Carter was consistently real nice play by the DB here to bat that away. Taurean Carter was consistently facing double teams against this Ole Miss offensive line. Yeah, real nice solid play there. So not as exciting as some of his Mississippi State tape, where he had a little bit more one-on-ones, more opportunity to collapse that pocket in the passing game. But I think the biggest thing that that I see from this is that, he is commanding a double team. That is nice to see. He can eat up space. But again, Ole Miss, I feel like they've had one of the best offenses in college football over the last few years. Credit their offensive line for helping them get there. Those are very good offensive linemen that he's going up against. And but I do think that he's a versatile guy. He can play a little bit more outside that 3 technique, or you put him in at that nose tackle position and have him try and eat up as much space as possible. But definitely you can see, like, when I was comparing his Mississippi State tape to his Ole Miss, I think you can see, like, sometimes when he got those double teams, there was a little bit inconsistency in terms of, like, fight, aggression, all of that when he's facing those 2 guys, whatever. Looking for a little bit more of that consistency, where versus Mississippi State, he had more one-on-ones, and you could tell that he was, like, really going after it. So, at the end of the day, I'm excited to have Taurean Carter here. I feel like we're continuing to bring in better, bigger defensive linemen compared to where we've been at, let's say, 2 years ago or so. So, good athlete. Let's see, how he's utilized, how he's coached up. It's going to be really interesting to see. I know that some of y'all are asking this too. On, how do you feel about, let's see, Yo Creo's coming in here. Let's see. I thought Yo Creo had a question. No, man, solid gold. I'm not calling him a bench warmer, but what I am saying is that I think he will be a rotational piece right now for this defensive line. No doubt. No doubt. And that's just how things are looking. But I'm not going to lie to you, say that I think this guy's a day one starter or anything right now for this team. I don't know how this defensive line is going to shake out outside of Wonkwo. I think we got a pretty good idea with the edges. Right now, Keaton Wade and Okunloa being those guys, but I don't know. Anquin Barnes, again, y'all want to crap on Shane Cokes. He's going to be on the field again this year, and I think we're going to see a better year from him as well. Because, yeah, and Amari McNeil, we got those guys. But yeah, depth guy. David, do you think that ACL injury will take a toll on Carter's play? Well, I think it is a good sign that he's going to be probably about 2 years removed from that injury coming up this March. So, yeah, hopefully he gets more of that explosion back. But yeah, just like you're saying, solid. He's a depth player. That's kind of how I see it. Old school, appreciate you, man. Mike, nah, man, you don't understand what's going on. Maybe this is why you guys hired Matt Rule over at Lincoln now. Come on, don't hit me with that. Okay, here's this question. How do you feel about Brett Bartoloni being CU's new tight ends coach? Cool with it, I guess. I don't really have a super strong opinion on it. Other than that, I feel like he's a very strong recruiter. So I'm interested to see how he starts recruiting the tight end position from here on out. So Jason Phillips, I think, is going to do a fine job with the wide receivers. So don't have a huge opinion on it. I guess we'll see what comes of it this year. Good to see you, Shirley. Question: how do you feel about Warren Sapp not coming? Yeah, this is an interesting one because I didn't really give much thought to it, with some of those articles coming out, about Warren Sapp's past. Again, like, if you follow the NFL or whatever, you know about that stuff that happened 15 years ago or something like that. I don't know. I'm not too read up on it at this point. We'll say Warren Sapp if he were or is hired at some point by CU, he's not the first coach to be hired here with some legal baggage, regardless of how that turned out. That's why I wasn't like making a big deal out of it or anything. I think the only frustration that I have with this is that why is this thing being announced when it's not official? I don't like that. Is this, one of the first maybe disagreements that we've seen administration or Rick George have with Coach Prime? Maybe. Looking like Sal Sinceri, I think I saw that he's going on his making his way over to Auburn. So are we short a defensive line coach right now? That's going to be interesting. Maybe one of the DCs that we bring in. Things have been a little bit, I don't think ideal. Just like we saw on early National Signing Day where we lost some guys, I don't think that was ideal at all. I don't think that was part of the plan. I think again that they were surprised by a couple of things like a Montre Bradford and all of that. I don't think this defensive coordinator hire has gone to plan. I mean, everybody was saying that the hire was made and all of that. Carl Reed again said that, hey, this is going to be a home run hire, whatever. And it sounds like whatever happened, it fell through. So looks like we're back to square one looking for a defensive coordinator. I'm sure they got some guys in mind. I'm sure there are some candidates and they're just working that out. Will this guy also coach safeties? Will this guy also coach defensive line? Like Pat Shurmur, I assume, is going to be the quarterback's coach, being the offensive coordinator as well. We're just going to have to see. But I don't have a huge opinion on it other than like, I like some of the things that Warren Sapp brings to the table in terms of I feel like he would be a strong recruiter. Obviously, he has that gold jacket, but I don't know, man. Like to me, it's not something that I feel like, a big way up or down about. Byron saying, Wiggins, strong side defensive tech, 3-tech, Chidoze, nose guard, Carter, weak side defensive end, and then we got Okunloa over at the edge. I like that. Big one, yes. The fact Carter can demand a double team. Chidoze, even though he's a small guy, demands a double team. Like, that guy is by far, I think, our best defensive lineman that we have right now. I'm excited to see more of him. And then a guy like Anquin Barnes, 315 pounds. He's a guy that just his size can demand a double team. So I think that's great. Obviously, we were very undersized in the middle last year, and we've definitely added 3 guys that are going to help us be a little bit more stout there in the interior, which is awesome. I was surprised to see that Bartolome's moved to tight ends coach. I thought he'd coach both the wide receivers and the tight ends. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what we were going to do there. I had brought up the idea maybe Loldholt teaches the tight ends how to block and Bartolome teaches the wide receivers or the tight ends how to catch, how to run routes, right? Maybe we'll still get a little bit of that. I got a feeling maybe that Loldholt will be working with those guys on blocking a little bit, and Bartolome's going to be working with them, running down the field, being receiving threats. Question: what type of quality DC is going to accept not choosing any of his assistants, but instead keeping Primes? Yes, man. Yeah, Yo, Cray, I know you're very, very critical of Andre Hart, Coach Mathis. You want those guys gone. I'm willing to give those guys another year or so just to see kind of what happens. But I understand some of the criticisms with those guys. I don't think that as opposed to the NFL, when you bring in a DC, there's a little bit more say on staff that happens than with college. But it would be nice to see, if we bring in a DC, if they have the call on some of these guys, if we're going to move on or bring in some of these coaches. So I would like to see the DC have some some authority over that. But I will say, it's pretty impressive that we've been able to bring in a lot of these defensive upgrades for our team this year without having a DC. That's pretty impressive right now from a recruiting standpoint. I just wonder how all these guys are going to be used schematically. Byron saying Barnes is better than Cokes. I sure hope so for the sake of the team. I think right now Anquan Barnes has a total of 7 snaps played in his college football career. It's just hard for me to get a grid on where he stacks up compared to the rest of these guys. Don't don't really know. A few years ago, we brought in an Alabama former 5-star transfer here. We were all very excited for him. To tell you, if it goes to show you how this whole thing turned out, I can't even remember the guy's name. He never touched the field. Man, it did make me laugh when Coach Trevor introduced himself as a special teams analyst, and he did say, "Hey, we're going to kind of be coaching it collectively." I rolled my eyes at that point. Oh, Lord Jesus. I just hope that we got some better athletes, some better disciplined players, but I thought we needed to change at special teams. Virtual Authority is saying, "Hey, we have no official word that SAP is not coming. We all need to chill." Yeah, I guess we'll see. David, is Leonard still a prospect for DC? I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the building, but with the David Talks Buffs rankings with potential candidates of names that have been thrown out there, I mean, he's number one for me. I would love to see him here. Man, Mike is Mike is in his big time trolling mood today. TB, how's it going, man? I appreciate you. Y'all go subscribe to TB. He's putting out Buffs content, panels going on. It was fun chopping it up with you the other night with Coach Kev and Baby Girl. That was a lot of fun. Oh man, see, reading skills, reading comprehension. It was always my struggle, just like Stephen A. Smith. I've been listening to his memoir for all the reasons, was going on. Very interesting. Viral authority. Good Lord. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I love what the team's doing, man. Serving the homeless. We got a big homeless population out here. Um, Denver's a pretty temperate climate compared to a lot of areas or a lot of other areas in the country. We don't really get deep freezes like this very often. I think that this is the coldest it's been in like over 20 years. I think I was reading, so it's nice to see them, going out, assisting people, getting to know other people. I think that's wonderful. And again, I hope other teams are doing things like that too. And it's nice to see them out serving the community. All right, y'all. Let's see. I'm gonna wrap this up here in just a couple minutes. Dev is saying Herman can play. So has that been official? Like I know he put it in his bio, but has CU announced that he's coming? That whole thing's official. I'm trying to look. What's his name? Herman? Herman what? Herman Smith the third. Herman already there. Oh, all right, cool. I guess I can do a video on him. He took a pic of his locker on his Instagram story. Hey, I appreciate the kind words, yo, Creo. Let me see what we got here. He's got highlights. We watched it on TB's channel. So y'all go check out TB's channel with what if you're wanting to check out Herman Smith highlights. Again, that is How It Has TB, all one word. You can find his YouTube channel there if you search it, or he's here in the comments. So as a prospect, 86 overall. Come on, Instagram. Let's go. Okay, so most recently, okay, so we played at Jackson State, then was at Idaho State. I don't understand how all this transfer stuff works. So is this one of the instances where people are taking advantage of that thing where you can just transfer immediately, without sitting out, multiple times or whatever? Let me bring up his PFF. This is bonus content. I will have a more detailed breakdown of him soon. But yesterday I was like at the Nuggets game all afternoon, and then this was kind of fun. Guru had a in our Discord, we Bird and I led like a little Q&A with Will Shepherd. That was really fun. For the few of y'all that might be in that Guru Discord. So it was nice that I had that. And then I had, our live stream with Pat Shermer yesterday. So I'm hoping that Bird and I can have like a more formal interview on our YouTube channels with Will Shepherd. But that was a lot of fun getting to talk to him for about an hour yesterday there. But with all that going at the Nuggets game, handling some of those things, I'm a little bit behind on some of the other CU news. Is he more of like a safety? But yeah, y'all go check out what Will Shepherd did on the Undisputed Buffs as well. I haven't gotten around to looking to it or listening to it yet, but I know that they talked to him for quite a while on Saturday. So y'all go check that out. I love the work that they're doing over there too. Why the hell can't I find this guy? Oh, this is driving me crazy. Idaho State. Oh, were they not part of the FBS? Is that why? Sorry, y'all. Okay. Idaho State, not great grades, but that usually happens when you're not playing a ton of snaps, usually grade lower. This is bad, but this is only one sliver of the pie, right? Okay. But he played all over. This is kind of interesting. Played a lot of slot, played some box, played free safety, played on special teams. Y'all know we need special teams players. All right. So 16 tackles, 3 assists, 8 missed tackles, 4 stops. That's nice. NFL passer rating of essentially perfect. Y'all let me know your scouting report on him since I have not seen any of his highlights. But Idaho State, are they FCS as well? But hey, 267 snaps, that's great to see that he's been getting a lot of snaps. And who knows? Again, sometimes, I mean, we know this, guys. Like our secondary got thrashed this past year. I don't think that that's because our secondary isn't talented. I think that's because of a lot of reasons, particularly our issues with the front seven. So maybe this is the case with Herman Smith as well. How many pass breakups? 2 pass breakups. No penalties, though. No penalties. I love to see that. Got 30 targets, 23 catches. But probably the most interesting thing about him is that he lines up all over the place. Seems to have some nice versatility. So here's his stats from 2022. Yeah, because he was at Idaho State in 2023. And let's see, 17 tackles, 5 assists, 11 missed tackles at Jackson State. Reception percentage, 60%, a lot better than what we saw at Idaho State. 2 pass breakups, NFL passer rating of 43, so that's substantially better. And they used him all over the place at Jackson State as well. 103 snaps in the slot, 176 snaps at safety, 73 in the box. That's pretty cool how, and even some snaps at defensive line. I wonder if that has to do more with like special teams alignment. But that's pretty cool to see that he's used kind of all over the place. And I mean, graded out pretty well in coverage at Jackson State, 72.2. That's a good rating. What was his coverage grade this past year? 32.6. I don't know, man. I got to put on the tape. Oh, sorry, guys. I've been looking at I've been looking at the wrong tabs or sharing the wrong tab with y'all. So sorry about that. But yeah, NFL passer rating was really high this year for him. But I like again that he's used all throughout the place. And was a little bit more productive at Jackson State. They're saying, he might be a walk-on. K Vizzy saying he is a special teams player like Silman Craig. I love that. We need some really good special teams players. If we're bringing him in primarily to bolster up the special teams, I love that. That is a third phase of the game. That's also a phase of the game that I'm trying to learn more about because I've seen, how atrocious it was this year. So yeah, I need to do a little bit more study on like what makes special teams good, like what makes a good gunner, what makes a good, all those different positions. Viral saying in the right system he can thrive. He was just everywhere. That makes sense. If you're always moving guys around, are they going to be able to have that consistency to be the best? Yeah, go and see Sam T on Twitter, LJ Season on there. Go check that out. And yeah, again, I'm hoping that Bird and I will be able to get Will Shepherd on here at some point. He is going to be here after he finishes up his classes in Vandy in Nashville this semester. So he'll be kind of more of a late arrival. He won't be here for the spring ball game. Kind of like Zay Weaver. I don't think Zay was here in the spring, was he? I don't think he was. The only Idaho I know is potato. Five Guys. Five Guys. Those Idaho potatoes, they're so good. But man, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. See you, Buffs Dynasty. Thanks for tuning in. I think he can be a good piece at safety, depth player. So y'all go check out TB's video with them showing his highlights and everything like that. Yeah, never heard of Idaho State. Yeah, every state's got a state team pretty much. Yeah. A lot of people probably didn't know that Texas State existed until a few years ago, right? Coming around the spring, probably just to be around. Yes. Correct, Tina Cole. Thank you for that correction. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to it. Appreciate you guys as always. I'll be back later today here at some point. So y'all hit that like on the way out. Would really appreciate that. Please consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And as always, everybody, Sco Buffs.